We're breaking into programming right now for an update on the water main break that took out water service in eastern Forsyth County. Our Sarah Sowers is attending the virtual briefing to ask your questions. Let's go ahead and listen in.
I believe that is the last slide. So thank you. Thanks. Okay. As a public water system, we operate under the oversight of the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality's Public Water Supply Section, and we must follow strict regulatory requirements before any boil water advisory can be lifted. Water quality testing is currently underway in areas where pressure has been restored. Once test results confirm the water is safe and we receive approval from our regulatory agency, we will begin lifting the boil water advisory in specific areas as conditions allow. We understand customers want to know whether their property is impacted, and as areas are cleared and advisories are lifted, customers will be directed to the city's interactive map on the city's website, which will provide the most current information on affected service areas and the status of the boil water advisory. As part of the restoration process, utilities crews will be flushing fire hydrants throughout the affected area. Residents may observe water being discharged from hydrants as crews work to restore water quality and remove air or sediment from the system. This is a normal and necessary part of our recovery effort. We appreciate the public's patience and cooperation as we continue restoration efforts and to work safely to return the entire system to normal operations. Also, I just want to mention that it's important to get your information from credible sources because I know there is a lot of misinformation about the event out there. So just please refer to updates that we give out, that the city and with Forsyth County Utilities is giving out on our city website and through these news releases and this news conference. And with that, I will open it up for any questions.
We have one question. When you say that water is removed, where is it going? Is it causing damage to other areas?
So when I say that it's removed, we put in, we had to build in some ditches to drain the water so that we could make the area dry enough to get the equipment in there. We are not damaging in other areas, so we make sure that we're meeting all the stormwater requirements and drainage best practices.
The next question is, was this due to aging infrastructure? And is there a strain on the other pipe systems at this time?
We are still evaluating the cause of the failure. We've just excavated down far enough to even get to the pipe. So we are still in the process of evaluating what caused the pipe to break. So I don't have that information at this time, but as soon as we know more, we'll share that information.
How long will the boil water advisory be in effect, and are you giving out water again tomorrow? August?
I'll answer the boil water advisory, and then I'll turn it over to August for the distribution of water bottles. So the boil water advisory is still in effect and will be until further notice. As I mentioned, we have to make sure that we have taken samples and we're waiting on the results of that samples. There is a time period that that testing takes. Once we get the results back from those tests and we clear those results with our regulatory agencies, we will lift the advisories as soon as we possibly can, and the customers and the residents of this community will be notified of that lifted boil water advisory.
Hey, could you please repeat the question for my?
Will there be a distribution of water again tomorrow?
So right now, there are multiple sites opened across the impacted area. We are right now planning on running some sites tomorrow. A lot of that does depend on what happens over the next few hours and through the evening. So again, we're planning to do that tomorrow at least 3 or 4 sites. I'm hesitant to tell what those are yet because it'll depend on where we're at in the recovery from this. if we run those sites, that messaging will go out in the morning to make the public aware of where those sites will be at.
Next question is, based on the challenging location of the damaged water main, is it reasonable to think it's going to be many more days before things return to normal?
Right now, with the efforts that we've made, and working around the clock through the night, we are hopeful that the repairs to the water main break will be completed by tomorrow morning. As we have progressed through this event, we have hit many challenges. Assuming that we don't hit any major, any other major challenges, we are anticipating that the pipe will be repaired by tomorrow morning. Crews are working through the night again. So that's good news.
Next question. How have you been able to restore some of the pressure?
I'm going to refer that question to Bill Brewer.
So our system has several different pressure zones, and we have pump stations that move water between these pressure zones. The 1060, which is basically half of the area that was shown on the map of the affected area, the portion to the west. We've got a plant that feeds into that as well as other pump stations. And then from that zone, we move it to another zone. And they're not necessarily, once water leaves one zone and goes into another, it doesn't typically go back. So that we've been very strategic in how we've been pumping water into these zones and moving it in the direction that we need it to go. It's how we move water around our system, basically.
Thank you. I'm going to ask you two more questions. The first one is, just because the repairs are made or finished Friday, does this mean that the boil water notice will be lifted immediately? And how long does it take for the testing to be completed?
The boil water notice is based on our samples that we're collecting in the distribution system. So we, as I mentioned, we have already been testing. We've completed some testing in certain areas and we're waiting on those results. There is a time period of 18 hours that we have to take for those tests to complete. So once we receive those tests, there's an 18-hour process. And then once we receive those results, we will work with our regulatory agencies to get clearance to lift the advisory. And as I mentioned, we will inform the public as soon as possible once we know that we're in a good place to lift those advisories.
Great. I have one more question for you, and that is, how can one pipe 40 feet underground have this big of an impact on 200,000 people? Are there resiliency contingency plans that the city follows in this case?
You want to take
So-
that one, Bill, too?
Yeah. So the issue was the size of the pipe and how much water we were losing through that pipe. And it exceeded our ability to keep up with how much water was actually being lost after the pipe broke. Once the pipe was isolated, the system was able to recover, but that process takes time. It doesn't happen like switching a light switch. It takes time to repressurize the system, get air out of the system, and kind of work through those issues that occur when you do lose water.
Gail?
Yes, thank you so much for those very interesting questions, and we hope that is helpful as you work through your day and reporting this situation. Want to remind you that if you have more questions, you probably can find some of the information. We now have an FAQ, most commonly asked questions about the water situation, that has been posted and that was shared as a link on the email that went out to you. And so you can find information there that should be helpful. That is on cityofws.org. And it's our lead news story on a utilities page, which is wsfcutilities.org. And you can also keep your eye on the City of Winston-Salem social media channels, I think. So thank you so very much. We appreciate you joining us today. And we'll be sending out more information as soon as we are able. Thank you.
You have been listening to Utilities providing an update on the water main break affecting so much of Forsyth County. Just a few of the key takeaways from that. First of all, a lot of questions regarding the boil water advisories and when they'll be lifted. They were very specific in saying that that water has been tested. It takes 18 hours for those samples to come back. So they can't lift that boil water advisory until they know the water is clean, number one. Number two, they're still evaluating the cause of the failure. Questions about water distribution sites. So they talked about that as well. They said they do plan on having 3 or 4 sites open tomorrow, but they're going to wait and see how the recovery goes today before they announce specifically where those sites will be. And finally, someone asked about how long before things get back to normal. They are unable to answer that question at this time as the recovery process is ongoing, but they did say that they expect repairs to the water main break to be complete by tomorrow morning. And finally, someone asked, well, how can a single pipe affect so many people? And the answer to that was, well, it takes a very long time to isolate that single pipe, to repressurize everything, and to get things back to normal. Of course, information will continue to come out. We will be here with you, watching it all, getting it to you, complete coverage at 4 o'clock. We'll see you then.